and I've been with Forever now for 3.5 years. I can't believe how quickly that has gone. And the reason why I started my business was life threw me a number of curveballs, probably like many of you sat in here this morning. So in the space of about 2.5 years, I lost my mum, my marriage broke down, I lost my home, and I was in over £70,000 worth of debt. Now you can imagine, and I'm not saying that so you're all like, wow, or anything, but just to show you that 3.5 years ago, if you said to me, I'd be stood up on this stage speaking and doing a slot at Success Day, I'd have said, absolutely not. So if you're looking at all of the speakers, we weren't this at the start. This is a massive personal development journey as well. So although I earn an incredible income now, courtesy of Forever, because when I got started, I only started for a few £100s. That's all I needed, some breathing space. But within 7 months, I doubled my podiatry salary, and I was actually able to give that up and be the stay-at-home mum to my 2 gorgeous children. So, when head office called me about 3.5 weeks ago to say, will you speak at Success Day? Obviously my mouth said yes, and my tummy was like, oh my goodness. And then they told me what I needed to speak about, and that was the diary of a 4 to 6 case credit Forever business owner. And I got off the phone and I thought, oh, diary of a 4 to 6 case credit business owner? What value can I give to everybody in just 20 minutes? You know, maybe if it was on recruitment or retailing. And then I actually thought, this is exactly what we need to be talking about, because how many of you last month perhaps didn't hit your 4 case credits? How many of you are on track to hit your 4 to 6 case credits this month? Because very often we know the how to, we know what we should be doing, but life happens, things happen, and then do we actually structure our activity to get our 4 to 6 case credits? So that's what I'm going to show you today. Hopefully some structure, some time management, so you can go away today and action all of this to build your business. So the first thing you need to look at is, why are you even doing this? Why did you start your business in Forever? Now you heard my reason why. Pretty big reason, a huge amount of debt, and my 2 beautiful children there, Will and Maddie, who are now 12 and 9. Massive driving force for me. So if you find yourself with a really, really strong reason why you are building your business with Forever, you're going to be unstoppable. Because on those days when you're tired, when the sun is shining, you're still going to carry on building your business, because you're always going back to that reason why you've started your business. So I'm now going to take you through what I do in a month, each week, to build my business. Because I am Miss Consistency. Because I suppose I have a really strong reason why I'm doing this, I can't go to bed unless I've done my activity, literally. So what I do, the 3rd week of every month, is I volume map. Now some of you may be new in the room and you think, what's this, volume mapping? This is where you need to know where your case credits are going to come from. Because, unfortunately, one of our new products announced in Dubai wasn't a CC fairy. So you're not going to wake up in the morning, look at your yellow aloe bottle, and all of a sudden it's going to say 4 case credits. We need to know where they're going to come from. So I volume map my month. And I normally do this in about the 3rd week of the preceding month. So I would probably next week look at exactly where my case credits are going to come from for July. And you can see there's going to be a combination of lots of different activities. Personal use. How many of you are using the products? How many of you are becoming a product of the product? So when you're speaking to people, you can speak with passion, enthusiasm. I probably do about 1 case credit a month at least on personal use. Then things like pups, regular customers, recruitment, if you want to build your business, doing recruitment as well, which I absolutely do. Why would you not want to share this opportunity with people? Events, stores, C9 campaigns, we're coming into the summer season, who doesn't want to get fit, ready for their holidays? Pamper parties, launches. So you need to know where your case credits are going to come from. They're not just going to appear. And so if you volume map, around the 3rd week, you're already starting to take control. One of the biggest things for me in my business is if I feel really overwhelmed. Obviously, when I started, I was really anxious, suffered a lot with anxiety, so I needed to know where things were going to come from. Otherwise, I get really, really overwhelmed. How many of you feel really overwhelmed mid-month in June, right now, thinking, oh, where are my case credits going to come from? I'm sure there's a few of you feeling like that. You need to take control of your business and not have your business control you. So, this is a breakdown, roughly, of what I do each week, my income-producing activity. Now, I do more than this, because obviously I've got a team and I'm supporting all of those, but this is what I do in a week. The top part is a retailing strategy, and the bottom part is a recruitment strategy. So if you just want to retailing and get your 4 to 6 case credits, just do the top part. If you want to business build, you need to be doing the bottom part as well. Now, I've broken it down for you, just roughly the hours that I do. And Jay made a point yesterday, actually, where she was saying about, working per hour and things like this. I do a lot more than that, because it doesn't feel like work. I absolutely love what I do. Now, I showed my husband these slides the other day, and he said, 23 hours, that's a lot. What if somebody works full-time? How are they going to be able to do that if they see that? That's going to make them feel really demoralised, isn't it? So I said to him, hold on a second. There's 168 hours in a week. Let's just say they do a 40-hour week, and they do 23 hours as well. So they're working full-time, and they're running their business full-time. That's still over 100 hours. Let's just say I'm going to give you 10 hours sleep every night. Who would like 10 hours sleep a night? I have about 6. So even if you give somebody 10 hours sleep a night, that's still over 30 hours left to do what you like, family time. So you can literally work full-time if you want, and run your business full-time, and you can still do all the social things that you want to do. So why is it we don't? Why is it we're always saying, oh, I haven't got time for that? Because you don't plan your time, you don't structure your time. And I'm sure many of you right now say to yourself a lot of the time, oh, I've got such a busy week, when am I going to fit everything in? I work full-time, so how can I build a business? You need to structure that, because if you do that, it's going to make it so much easier for you, and you can break it down so you don't feel overwhelmed. How many of you are already thinking last month maybe you didn't hit your 4 case credits and you're still thinking about it? Stop. It's been, it's gone. The beauty of our industry is you can start every day afresh. Now, I've put this on because I know this was me quite a bit at the start. I'd sit there with all my paperwork out, and then I'd get my phone and I'd start scrolling through Facebook. We've all been there. And then all of a sudden, an hour's gone, and I think, I actually haven't done anything to do with my business. So are you busy doing stuff? Stuff you shouldn't be doing to build your business? Scrolling on Facebook is one of the biggest things that I used to do. And then, you know what happens? You start comparing yourself, your mindset starts to go, so stop doing it. Now, I've put this on here about, will it make the business go faster? There's an Olympic rower called Ben Hunt Davis. I'm sure some of you will have seen him. When he was training for the Olympics, he had something that, sort of in the years leading up to it, he would say to himself, will this make my boat go faster? And let's just say he went out for a meal with his friends, and he looked at the menu and he thought, that looks a really nice burger on the menu. And in his mind he would say, will this make my boat go faster? And if the answer was no, he wouldn't have it. If he went socialising with his friends, I'd really like a pint of lager. Will this make my boat go faster? No, I won't have it. So I want you, over the coming weeks and months now, whilst you're building your business, to say to yourself, when you find yourself doing some activity, will this make my business go faster? And if the answer is no, why are you doing it? There's no reason you should be doing that. You need to focus on your income-producing activity. And I've put some other bits down there. Chores is a good one for me. I've actually got a cleaner starting on Tuesday. yes, can't wait for that. Chores went out the window for me. Because I had a strong reason why, and I wanted to build my business. You know, cleaning my house wasn't going to bring the case credits and an income in for me. That could wait. I'm not saying I lived in a hovel or anything, it was still okay. So you can see all of these things, paper tidying. How many of you are getting your desk all nice, but you're not building your business when you're doing that? This for me is absolutely key, and probably the point I really, really want to get across to you today, because if I said to you right now, get your diaries out. So whether you've got a paper diary, an electronic diary, get it out now and have a look at it. What have you got planned for the next 7 days? So what I say is, get your 7-day plan. So we now know what our retailing or recruitment strategy is. We know what our income producing activity is. And we list it on our 7-day plan. And at the same time, you have your diary open adjacent to that. So I do this both together. Now what I then do in my diary, because remember, I don't like being overwhelmed. I like to know what I'm doing every single day. So I get my diary out and I put in, first and foremost, in my diary, everything I need to know that I have to do that week. Dropping the kids off at school, picking them up from school, being a taxi service to all of their clubs. These are things I can't change. These are things that I'm not going to be doing, income producing activity, when I'm doing them. I can't do a one-to-one when I'm driving them to school. If I go shopping with them and get my food and groceries, then yes, I can obviously prospect as I go along. But specific income producing activity is going to be outside of those times. So in your diaries, you need to put in the things that you can't change. Do you work? Then you put that in. And I use highlighters in my diary because I like to see things visually at a glance as well. So diarise all the things that you know you have to do. Including you time. You need to look after yourself as well. Then you need to look at your 7-day plan. And you need to then transcend your 7-day plan into your diary. How many pups do you have booked for that week? Now I always try and coach for a minimum of 4. So if you've got 2 booked, great. When are you dropping them off? When are you picking them up? You put it in your diary. You'll feel more in control then. If you've got no pups booked right now, as you look in your diary, then what you do is you schedule in time in your diary of when you're going to get them booked. When have you got a free hour that week where you can sit and come up with a strategy of how you are then going to get them booked out? Have you got any launches booked in, any pamper parties? If you have, great, they'll go into your diary. And if you haven't, you put the time in your diary to go and then get them booked. This for me is so important because then I know I don't need to feel overwhelmed in my business. I can look every day and I can see the structure, the things I know I have to do, and then the things I know I will need to do to build my business. Because if you don't put in the income producing activity, how many of you right now, when you do look at your diary, think, I haven't got any income producing activity booked in? Do you expect, we've got some hands up there, you know, you've got to schedule it in. Because if you don't, when you wake up in the morning and you think, oh, I need to do this, and then you get halfway through the month and you think, oh my goodness, where am I going to get my 4 case credits from? And you start to panic. And there's nothing worse than desperation when you're speaking to people. You know, I've already done my 4 case credits because I front load the beginning of the month. That means I can relax for the rest of the month. I don't need to put pressure on myself, but guess what? If you do that, you'll get more than 4. You'll get 6, or you get 8, or you get 10, because all of that pipeline will develop and grow as well. So I always do this on a Sunday, usually a Sunday morning, obviously here, so I'll do this when I go home tonight. And never say I'm going to start again next month. If June hasn't gone according to plan right now, it doesn't matter. Start today. Because if I said to you, you've got 4 case credits left to get manager, do you think you'd all do it? Absolutely you would. So you've still got nearly 2 weeks left to do this. So I know you can do this, but you need to schedule in your income producing activity. 7-day plan, list it all, and then put it actually into your diary. I promise you, you will feel so much better about your business. And preparation is really key for this. switch off your notifications. So if you've got an hour where you need to then go and get your pups booked out, use that hour. Don't sit there and have your phone and every notification that comes up, you're kind of having a little look. Switch them off. You can actually do that as well. Tidy your desk. My desk was always kind of a bit organised chaos, and you'd sit there and it'd be a bit, ugh. Organise it. Get planned, prepare, know where your case credits are going to come from, and you will feel so much better that you are in control and not your business is in control of you. Structure your activity. And then I use a 1 to 31 folder. I've got it in my study, literally open. So every day I walk in and then I open it up to the next day. So I know who I need to go back to that day. You may use any of the electronic CRM systems as well. It's whatever's going to work best for you. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes at the start of the month, especially when you first start, those 4 case credits seem like a mountain. And if you stood at the bottom of Mount Everest and looked up, you'd think, oh my goodness, how am I going to climb that? So break it down, little base camps all the way up. 1 case credit a week, £33 a day, a drinking gel, a tooth gel and deodorant. Find what works for you. You need to find your level of consistency. Your daily activities are going to be different from mine. We all have different commitments. But break it down relevant to you and touch your business every day. If you touch your business every single day, you'll feel more engaged in your business. And you'll be able to grow it far, far better. How many of you, if you haven't touched it for maybe a week and a half, your mindset starts to go, can I do this? Those little demons start to come into your head. Touch it every day. Even if it's only 10 minutes, you'll feel way better about it. So is it worth mastering your 4 case credits? All Freya asks us to do is 4 case credits every month. You go and speak to some of the makeup counters in Boots or Debenhams. Their targets are massive. And all Freya asks us to do every month is 4 case credits. So why is it we don't do it? We know the how, but we've got to action it as well. So, a combination of retail of just 4 case credits, £948. Now I think about my business when I first started, so month 1, I did my 4 case credits, just me. But you imagine mastering 4 case credits, you getting really, really good at your 4 case credits, and then you coach others, because if you can do it, your 4, you can coach others to do it. And if you do that, then you having, say in 12 months' time, a team of 50 people doing 4 case credits, £4,000 a month. Who would like £4,000 a month? Only a few of you, okay. You want more. But you can get more, just coach more people to do 4. That's it. Every month I aim to do about 10 case credits, and I normally do 8 case credits personal or a little bit more. So I'm not doing any more than I did when I started. I've just got better at doing it because I've been really consistent, and then I'm coaching others to do the same. That's all. But you need to master first and foremost to do yours every single month. And keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate this business. Because if you do that, you'll feel overwhelmed and anxious. Believe me, I've been there. And be consistent. It's really important. So, I just want to kind of end on, and I think it was Chris or Diana who touched upon it yesterday. We often think CCs, case credits, all of the time. And I want you to transcend the case credits into monetary value for you, because you can't go into a shop and pay with CCs. You need money to do that. So if you're an assistant supervisor doing 4 case credits a month, it's about £328 profit. That can get you a Mercedes payment per month. Who here would like a new car? All you need to do is master your 4 case credits right now. Supervisor, £352. That can get you a mini convertible. Now, some of you may not want that. That's the car that I have, so I did have to put that on. Assistant manager, £392. Then you can save up over 6 months, 12 months. You can go to Disney, Euro Disney. 5 nights, 6 days in the school holidays, simply for mastering your 4 case credits. Manager, £432. You can go for 2 weeks, all inclusive, for a family of 4 to Mallorca. And that's in 6 months. But you know what? I know you all on average. You want to be aiming for more than that. So let's aim for 6 case credits, because you know what? If you structure your activity, you'll get to 6 case credits. And as an assistant supervisor, 6 case credits a month, £492. That will get you an Evoque payment per month. Who would like a Range Rover Evoque? Simply doing 6 case credits. Supervisor, £528. Now I've put this one on because if you save up for that, you can put a £5,000 deposit down on a £100,000 house with a Help to Buy scheme. So how many of you want to get on the property ladder? You've got something in your hands that can do that. Assistant manager, £588. You can go to Cancun in the school holidays for a family of 4, all inclusive. I've put this one on because this one is really, really personal to me, and I speak to a lot of people that this really relates to. Credit cards and debt. As a manager, £648. Over £7,500 you could pay off on your debt. I know what debt is like firsthand. It's like a noose around your neck. First thing you think about in the morning, last thing you think about at night. You almost wake up in the morning hoping it's gone, and it hasn't. But you've got something in your hands that can change that by mastering the basics. But you need to know where the case credits are going to come from. So finally, keep it really simple. So tonight, get your diaries out, get your 7-day plan, put your income producing activity into your diary. You know what you have to do in the week, then you need to put in your income producing activity, either the retailing or the recruitment. Be in control of that, master the basics, be consistent. I love this final quote. Joining a network marketing company is like a gym membership. Some sign up and do nothing. Some sign up and change everything. It's not up to the gym, it's up to you. So this isn't up to forever. You've bought your box. And as Jane says, there's a day you buy your box and there's a day you start your business. So make today the day you start your business. Thank you.